Welcome, today we're flying out the Yak-30 8.3. Pretty good plane actually, especially right now with the new matchmaker. If you get up tier to 9.3 however, you're not gonna have the most amount of fun, but at its own beyond, especially in down tiers, this thing is quite insane. The acceleration is good, turn rate is good, compression is doable, not the best. You sure want to keep it as slow as you can, but of course you don't want to go too slow, because in jets, when you do that, you are going to get your ass rocked. And you don't want that. The main problem, I would say, with this plane is the guns. You got 23mm and you only got 75 rounds per gun over 3 guns, and these guns are not very good because low velocity, they're very inconsistent, and the low amount of ammo makes it's kind of a pain. The LA-15 is almost double the ammo, which makes it a lot more doable, but in this thing you really have to pick your fights, and because of the playstyle this thing has, bad with the guns that it has with the low ammo, you really just want to stall people out. And if you get on someone 6 in this thing, about 95% of the planes will not be able to reverse you. They won't be able to get rid of you. People will be able to outrun you. But if someone gets you on their 6 and they cannot outrun you, chances are he's not going to do very well. It's an insanely good plane if it gets to position. Only problem is, well, people that are faster than you. It's the same kind of deal with the 163 and the Yak-23. Yak-23 I will be flying out soon as well. And for now I'm just trying to dodge all the head-ons. For obvious reasons. F-84 here is a plane that can easily outrun me. He's going very slow, opportune target, take him out, set him on fire, don't need much ammo, and we zoom out again. Keep looking around, I don't want to get jumped by someone or accidentally fly in front of something like an R2Y2. Not the best idea, but I'm dead on the 6 here, he's going vertical, so I will out energy him in the long run. Problem is, he turns a little bit tighter than me because he's so damn slow, and I can't really go for him. I'm way above the R2Y2, he has no chance going for me. 262 in front of me is basically stalled out, so instead I will just go for him. Trying to turn into the R2Y2 here, but he's now on my 6 because I was just a little bit faster than him, so I kind of reversed myself. But I'm still going 800 here after all of that, and I will easily be able to just exit the area and leave that R2Y2 to die to 3 of my teammates. And that's exactly what happens. And right now we're just gonna be flying around for a little bit and waiting for the game to develop. Luckily, it doesn't have to take as long for you as it did for me. Right now I'm just kind of zooming around, waiting for some things to happen, see who I can go for. But everyone is at altitude and I can't really engage anyone right now, so I'm just going to exit the area yet again. I'm going to let the furball develop a little bit, and then when we turn back in, something might actually start happening again. And some of my teammates died in the process. Going on with a 262, he dodges the head-on, good to know, and it's a C2B, also good to know. So now I know 2 things about this guy. He doesn't like taking head-ons, which is a good thing. He's probably a decent pilot in the C2B because, well, you don't want to take head-ons in that thing. The main thing I'm thinking about right now is trying to waste this guy's booster fuel. He only has 2.5 minutes, and there's 2 vampires coming in from the left now, which I won't be able to energy trap if this C2B keeps his energy and then pops the boosters and spikes me up. And I don't want that. He's using them right now. I'm not going to chase him because the vampire will kill me, but I wanted to push just a little bit longer so that he will waste the most amount of fuel. And the more he wastes, the better. But of course, it's a matter of time until he runs out. Present myself by kind of turning in front of him. He can only go 1050 with the boosters engaged in a straight line. And he will consume a hell of a lot of fuel doing that. So if he tries to follow me out here, he will simply just waste his fuel, which is perfect for me. Vampire on me. Vampire is going to break off. He's going to go for the J29. Right now I'm just trying to exit again. The J29 is baiting everyone down, which makes it so that I can now get a little bit of altitude, get a little bit of speed. Not sure what I'm gonna do here right now. It kind of depends on what the J29 will do, because I need my speed to dodge them. But if they're not keeping their speed and if they're too busy engaging the J29, I can easily get some altitude, because this thing accelerates really well. And then they kill him. But the vampires wasted a lot of speed doing that, so right now I can go gradually up, shoot a few rounds in a head-on. I really don't like taking head-ons in this thing, but I don't want them to think that I never take them, that I never shoot back, because that makes it so that they're gonna start, well, committing in the head-on, and then I start having some trouble. So right now I'm simply shooting just for the mind game, just for the sake of shooting, because I need them to think that I am not scared of taking head-ons, because if it looks like I am, what's going to happen is they will abuse that maybe. And that's not something I want. Right now I'm simply climbing away from the vampires. I'm trying to make it a 1v1 with the 262. See if he wants to use his boosters, because I'm climbing right now. I'm kind of like bleeding some speed here in the hope that he thinks, now I can catch him. I'm going to pop my boosters and spike up after him. He doesn't do it, which is perfectly fine. and we start doing gradual turn to lure in these vampires, because the C2B for some reason is now breaking off. He's probably going to try to side climb. He's not flying towards his airfield, that's why I'm checking if he's flying towards it or if he's just flying away from us, and it looks like he's just flying away from us. So from that I concluded that he didn't run out of fuel yet, but he's simply trying to get some separation to then jump me as I'm 1v1ing this vampire, which is a good thing to do. And these three guys flew it pretty well. Well, I have the plane advantage here, of course. They have three guys, and they're not committing to me. They're just trying to pull me down. I cannot push in here. I turned just a little bit too late, a little bit too early actually. Otherwise he would have been dead right there, and it would have made the fight a lot easier. But of course we're here for a video and we're here for some footage, so in the long run it's a good thing I messed that up, because it makes this game a lot more interesting. And the C2B is coming in now. He has some speed, so he's using some boosters. He's not using a lot, but the more he uses the better. So I'm gonna turn into him, give him the idea that he's catching me even faster, but still want to keep up a decent climb, because I don't want these vampires to start catching me. They're Italian vampires, which of course have the little bit better engine than the British one. So I need to be careful of that. They have more energy than you might think. C2B coming in, he doesn't want to take a head-on, and that's the exact same thing as I talked about earlier when I shot in the head-on. This guy makes it very apparent that he doesn't want to take him, so all I have to do is simply look a little bit at him and he will break off, and then I don't have to waste ammo, I don't have to waste energy, and I don't have to waste time dodging him. I can simply look at him for a little bit and he will break off. He turned back in, he's going pretty slow now, and I'm wondering if he's using his boosters at all, or if he used them maybe early game, or that if he's sparing him. I cannot tell at this point of time, so I need to be kind of careful with that until I know for sure. So I'm trying to kind of baiting him with the vampire as well. The vampire won't catch me here, he will never will. So if the C2B doesn't pitch up after me with his boosters on, I can probably kill the vampire, and if he comes up for me I can kill the C2B. But the other vampire is now running away from me, making it so that I cannot really drop down on him, because then I get this vampire on my 6. So I broke off again, and I want to see if I can push this guy down a little. If I can, that's great. And notice how these three guys are spacing themselves out, making it harder for me to come near them. And they're playing it pretty well. They're not really doing anything to me, but they're making it very hard for me to kill a single person. And this is how you have to fly when there's multiple people around. When there's multiple of you versus only one of them. Even if their plane is better, you can lock him down completely, making sure that I can't really engage anyone. If I go for this vampire, he dies away. If I go for the other one, that one dies away. If I go for the C2B, one of the vampire turns around and goes for me. So I really just have to pick my targets here. I'm just trying to bait one up, and I keep doing the same thing roughly. I don't want to make it too predictable, of course, but roughly speaking, I keep doing the same thing just to see if one of them messes up in the long run, and then I might be able to kill them. C2B is now on my right, and the boat chasing Razor on the deck, which is a big mistake on their part, because Razor was a non-issue at this point. He's on the deck, he's in the Saab 105, and he's a very easy kill, yes, but I already have him kind of locked down here, and if they start separating like this, and they start going for someone, and if you go for someone 9 out of 10 times you will be busy shooting, and you won't really have time to, well, defensive fly as well as shoot someone down. So he's now kind of giving me his ass, which is going to cost him a lot of energy. C2B is still on my 6, but I will be able to catch this vampire in the long run. The other vampire is RTB, not sure if he's out of fuel or not, but he should be out of fuel if he's running min fuel right now, so it's very likely that he's gonna be RTB just to get some more fuel in. Missed a shot, compressing a little bit, don't want to shoot too much, and I underlap, so I missed my shot, but it doesn't matter because none of these guys can catch me. And I'm still very closely paying attention to that C2B, because if he suddenly starts pitching up for me and pops those boosters, I'm gonna be in a hell of a lot of trouble. C2B, I think he doesn't have rocket fuel left, so he's a very easy target right now, and I'm gonna go for this guy. Need to make sure that the guy on my right, the vampire, yeah, him, doesn't intercept me and shoot me down, but I got a crit on the C2B, which is perfect. Razor just kind of leave me alone so I can get my footage, because that's why he didn't help me. And he's killing some bombers, he's killing some ground units. He was grinding, so it was completely fine. C2B is stalled out at this point, he's not going to be doing much. Kill his pilot, and up we go. And the vampire here is not going to do much, he simply does not have the energy. I have very good acceleration, I have very good low speed energy, and the turn rate is nothing to laugh at either, which is the vampire's strong suit. But when his strong suit is also a strength of mine, and I have all the other cards, I can easily energy trap someone by simply turn fighting them. So I go vertical, I try to drop him on a 6, and he does the smart thing, he dies away. If he had pitched back up there, I would have instantly shot him down. But we're gonna chase him. And he's also flying to the direction of the airfield, not sure why yet, not sure if he's out of fuel, if he's just flying this direction, because well, he simply wants to reverse me. Miss yet again, because well, I'm not really used to the 23s and a bottom mounted as well, which are two factors that I don't really enjoy, but it doesn't really matter. It's a 1v1 and I should be able to get another shot relatively soon here. Problem is I only have 27 rounds per gun at this point, and I still have to kill them. Vampires can be very tanky, sometimes they're very fragile, it's a bit RNG, and these guns aren't exactly consistent either, so I might just be able to run out of ammo trying to kill this guy even if I hit all my shots. So I need to be careful here. I want to kill this dude. Just go under him. I noticed too late I was gonna ram him. Luckily I pulled out. The pull-out game is strong, I guess. Luckily I didn't blow myself up there. And again, look at this energy difference. Hoping that guy won't go for us, but he's gonna come in and help. Not gonna say anything, I just hoped him for to break off, but of course he is completely allowed to come in and kill this guy. I mean, he needs his RP too. I'm just flying for the footage here and I'm trying to show you something. So I would like to not have help, but you know, everyone else is also playing a game and not everyone can cater around me. He's shooting from some hefty distance there with his Hispanos. Want to make sure I don't fly into him because he's gonna, well, pull the same lead as me and then we're gonna fly on top of each other, and that's why I broke off. I don't want that to happen. Now he's busy shooting. I get on the 6 of the vampire and he's now very, very not fast. Yeah. So I got on the 6, and this shouldn't be a very hard kill. I'm just going to be parking on the 6 now, we're both going like 600. Luckily I shoot his wing off in one shot and damage his engine, so he's going to go into the ground here. And I'm going to extend towards the last guy who is taking off roughly now, but luckily with the power of editing yet again, we can speed this up a little. And now we have a little bit of a situation. The vampire just took off, so he won't be on minfield anymore, and I only have 3.5 minutes of fuel left. So now he is substantially heavier than he was earlier. And this 1v1 is not going to last very long, because right now I just have all the performance in the world. I have 3 minutes of fuel, which is more than enough. Need to be careful that I don't get shot down right there, but that was essentially the only shot he was going to get. He threw a lot of energy into that as well, and now I just have him energy trapped. I'm on a 6, I'm a lot faster than him. I don't want to commit there because I might, well, compress into the ground, and we don't want that. Just pull into him, not going for the shot here, I'm just trying to keep it tight, making sure that he doesn't really gain anything on me, and that I slowly but surely bleed him of his energy. And if you haven't noticed yet, because I know someone is going to comment it, yes, I'm not using my flaps a lot, and that's simply because I don't need it. I'm trying to play energy here. I turn tight enough regardless, and if I can use them, and it doesn't actually cost me anything and just speeds it up a little, I will. But most of the time it doesn't actually benefit you too much, because this thing turns well enough versus planes like this. Anyway, I'm dead on the 6, going 500, I'm going vertical. And well, it's kind of over at this point. 1 or 2 more loops and he's going to be dead. Back up we go. Pull a little bit of lead here. I'm trying to nose in front of him, drop the flaps, just to turn over just a little bit quicker. And here comes the vampire to help me out again after he was ground pounding. But it doesn't matter. This guy has given me a very easy shot. I miss it there. Just imagine that I could have killed him there without the help of the vampire. I just missed, and that was the main thing here. I only have 2 minutes of fuel left. And well, I'm going to be dead on the 6 now. And that's essentially going to be game. He doesn't have the energy to get out of this, and now it's 2v1 as well. So even if I miss this, I should be completely fine. And that's why I missed, of course, just to prove my point. I didn't miss anything because of my bad aim at all. Just right now I'm trying to pull in. I'm trying to get on the 6. And he doesn't have the energy anymore. He's not really looping anymore, just trying to go up. And now I can just pitch up into him, and there's nothing he's going to do. I shoot his wing off, and that's gonna be game. Yes, it's a down tier, I know, but planes like this heavily rely on people not being faster than you. And if people are faster than you and run away from you, you're not going to do anything. You have to bait people into fights, and well, I just did a video on that in the Yak-30, which was essentially the same thing as this. So if you want to see that kind of gameplay, feel free. But I think this should cover the plane pretty nicely. And there you have it, the Yak-30 at 8.3. Hope it was helpful. See you all very soon again with another video, and have a nice Friday.